What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Life After Strange right here on Player One versus the World. And just when you thought these episodes couldn't get any better, I bring on the D&D queen herself, Katy Bentz. How are you, Katy?
Good. I am so excited to be back. When you messaged me, I was like, yes, I would love to come back on and talk about Life is Strange. So yeah, thank you for having me.
I'm glad.
Yes.
I also found out your name's Catherine as well, which was mind-blowing revelation.
How'd you find that out?
On a Reddit AMA.
Where'd you? Oh, yeah. Catherine. Yep, that is with a Y. Catherine. Yes.
So you live and learn. So let's just jump straight into this. So we're recording this episode early September, and only a week ago it was the 3-year anniversary of Before the Storm. What does it feel like when I just say that? Like, it's been 3 years since you landed such an important role.
I couldn't believe it. Like, it's just been so long, but so much has happened. Like, so much has happened in the 3 years. Like, I wouldn't be where I am on Twitch and have this amazing community if it wasn't for BTS. So it's like, I mean, yeah, every time that there's a moment to, like, you know, take a moment and say, man, thanks for this game, thanks for the developers, thanks for the community, like, that's the time. And I was like, 3 years, thank you guys, you know. It's just been such a crazy ride, so I'm just so thrilled to have been a part of the project.
That's cool. So when we spoke as well, we spoke in 2017, I think it was, before Storm was coming out.
So long ago.
It's just a lifetime ago. And when we spoke, you said that you auditioned for the role of Samantha Myers, but obviously you became Steph in the game. Did they ever tell you why you shifted over, or was there any ever explanation for that?
No, I think that I just didn't fit Samantha. I mean, Haley Hayes, like, nailed it. You know, she's Samantha, and she did such a wonderful job. I think that I wasn't the right fit for that. And yeah, that's okay. And I was introduced to Steph, and yeah.
So sticking with Steph then, what was it like when you first saw what she looked like? So I'm talking about when you saw the actual model of the character, because I know in the AMA that I read that you did, they gave you like a spec sheet with like who Steph was, what her kind of personalities are, but what was it like to...
Yeah, I didn't see a picture of her ever. Yeah, I didn't ever saw a picture of her until the game. So I didn't know what she was going to look like. I had no idea. I just had like a little blurb about her, but had no idea what she was going to look like. And then when I played the game, I can't remember if I played the game first or if I saw somebody else play it. I really can't remember. It's been so long. But no, I thought it was awesome. I was like, oh, of course she wears beanies. And then everyone's like, oh, yeah, you must just like wear beanies because Steph wore beanies. I was like, no, guys, I wore beanies before Steph did, okay? But I was like, that's kind of funny that she wears beanies. I like that. Yeah, no, I loved it. I loved seeing her. It was really cool to see her and to hear my voice coming out of the character.
Sweet. So as well, like, this was your first VO gig in a gaming project as well, and you had the chance to work with Philip Bache and Webb Pickersgill in the studio. What was it like working with them in the studio on this project?
It was really fun. I worked more, I would say, with Phil, since he was the voice director and Webb was one of the game developers. I got to meet Webb once, which was really, really cool. He was able to come into the studio and work from there. But most of the time, he was just this ambient voice. So it was a lot of working with Phil, and Phil's great. Webb's great also, but Phil would be there with the lines and helping me get to where we needed to get as the voice director. And Webb was kind of just there making sure that like the message that Phil was doing was getting through to the game. But yeah, I would get stuck on some lines, and Phil would be like, okay, this is what you need to do. Like, just imagine you're in this position, like do this, do that, do that. And it just kind of got me in the right mindset, and we would get to the places really quickly. It was great working with both of them.
Sweet. So were there any like memorable or standout moments that you remember? I'm scratching at your brain here just to get the, taking you back 3-4 years ago.
Oh my God, I know. I have the worst memory ever. It's so bad. I can't even remember like things that happen on stream. Like, I'm saying something on stream, and then I look at the chat and somebody says something, and I was like, did I say it? What was that? They're like, Katy, you just talked about this like 5 seconds ago. And I was like, I can't. I don't know. I just think that like something that was memorable, not necessarily like anything like funny or crazy, but just like feeling of being in the studio booth and being in the sound booth and just like delivering my lines. I don't know. It was just like a really cool feeling, just being able to like, to station myself and to speak from like my gut and just to like really be in it. Like, it was really fun to speak all those lines, especially the D&D part. So I had a lot of fun with that, just getting into character and getting into the D&D DM character of Steph.
Sweet. We'll come on to D&D in a little bit. So when you were recording lines for Before Storm, do you remember how long it took you to record all the lines for Steph? And when you did it as well, did they tell you that Steph was coming back for more than one episode?
So I was probably in there, I think I've answered this before. I think it was 12 hours of studio time. So not that much. It was just mostly 4 hour slots. Yeah, I think I went in there 3 times. Is that correct? Is that math? And then, no, I didn't know that Steph was going to come back in episode 3. I didn't know that. I had no idea until they called me up and they're like, hey, we're going to do episode 3. You want to come? And I was like, sure. And then I got in there and they're like, yeah, we're doing another D&D segment. And I was like, really? They're like, yeah, the fans loved it. So I was like, sick. So it's just cool to see. It's just really cool to see a game company listen to their fans and look at, like, you know, the response and see what they like out of it and then continue that on. So I think that's really cool. I think that's also really cool about episodic games, especially, is that, you know, most of the time they might not be finished with it. You know, that's why it comes out later on. So they can take that time to add new things in to see what they feel about the first episode. So, yeah. But I was thrilled to be doing D&D again.
Sweet. So speaking of D&D, we are going on to the tabletop segment because that is Steph's moment. That is that character's moment. What was it like recording the lines for that in the studio?
Again, like, amazing. So, like, that would be, like, one of my most memorable moments is just getting into, like, the colorful dialogue. I mean, the dialogue is just amazing. It's so well written. And I had so much trouble with some of the words. I was like, I don't know what this word is. I don't know how to say that word. Like, it was just because it's just, like I said, it's just so colorful. There's just so many words in there. But it was just so fun being able to paint a picture. And that was one of my, like, biggest notes. You know, they're like, okay, paint the picture more, you know, like, really tell the story, really paint the story for these characters and for the viewer or the player. And yeah, it was just a lot of fun. It was really challenging. And yeah, it was a really good experience.
Okay, so there's no excuses in this next one because I gave you the characters as well in the email I sent you. So out of the tabletop segment, who was your favorite character and why?
And I thought about this beforehand. My initial gut says Elamon, just because it's Elamon, you know what I mean? Like, and it's Mikey, and he's just there to have a good time. And I think that his character, you know, really shines with Mikey too. And so that really rung true to me. And then also Durgaron, the Unscarred, like, you got to go with that too. So I think those two are my favorites. So yeah. Okay.
So, bit of a fun question here. So Katie is hosting a tabletop segment with Steph, and she gets to invite three characters from the Life is Strange universe. Who would you pick and why? You have characters from any of the games now as well. So
yeah, I know. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I thought about this one too, and then I was like, I don't know, and I was like, I'm just gonna go into it, and whatever comes out, comes out. So Rachel for sure, because we didn't get to ever experience that. So Rachel for sure. I feel like you have to have Chloe back in there. I feel like Chloe needs to be back in it, right? And then the last one, I don't know. It's either, I want to say Daniel, but I don't know if it's appropriate for Daniel to be in a D&D campaign with Chloe. I don't know if it's appropriate because she talks about, like, punching dicks, and I don't know if that's appropriate for Daniel. But it would be really fun to play with Daniel or Chris, you know, from Captain Spirit. So that would be really cool. So that's kind of like that was what I was thinking.
Right. Okay. No, that's cool. So, you know, you've done your lines. When you got the chance to sit down and see how Steph's story arc played out, what was the feeling like just seeing how this character's story played out? And did you like the fact that they always had her in the background somewhere, whether it's, you know, the stage manager or the tabletop segments?
Yeah, I didn't know that she was going to be kind of just always just lingering, you know, in people's thoughts and just kind of in the scenery, which was really cool. like I had said before in past interviews, I didn't know much of what this game was going to be about. I didn't know much of like my character's involvement in the game. So when the game came out, that was the first time I saw like the whole thing. And yeah, like I was able to really just see what kind of character Steph really was for these other characters, for Chloe, for Rachel, and, you know, how much of a stone she was for these characters to go back to and ask for advice to. And yeah, it was really cool to see that. And yeah, I love that, like, you can go around and be like, oh, don't touch this. This is Steph stuff, you know? And it's like, okay, like, you know, where are her pencils? Oh, they're in the ceiling. Sweet. She's probably pissed. So it was cool that they had little things like that around.
Sweet. Do you remember the Tempest scene by any chance?
Yes, I loved it.
How did you feel about the entire thing when you watched it down for the first time?
I mean, it was amazing. I also got it right on the first time. So not like, I don't want to just like toot my own horn, but I'm tuning my own horn. I got it right. And I didn't know anything about the Tempest scene, but I got everything right. So yeah, I was pretty proud.
Okay. So I think you've mentioned this before about they didn't tell you that Steph was coming back for the third episode until later on.
Yeah.
But you know, you had that incredible reception for the first episode where she's there. How did it just feel just to come back that one time and do that one final sequence, even if it was a small part?
Yeah, she was a super small part, but I was so stoked. It was, like I said, it was so much fun doing the first D&D segment in the studio, and just to know that I was going to come back and be able to do another one was, again, such an amazing experience. So I was stoked to do that. I was just really excited. I'm glad the fans were so excited about Steph.
Sweet. So it's pretty clear from the game that we know Steph's sexual orientation, like, you know, she likes Rachel Amber. You know, how did you feel like you played a character that really resonated with LGBT community? What was it like just knowing that was a big impact from this character?
Yeah, I've always been an ally, and this being a part of this game and being able to portray Steph and bring her to life has made me even more aware of the community and the people in the community and how powerful LGBT is in games and can be in games, like the awareness of it and what it can do for people. I've had many people message me over the years and tell me, you know, Steph helped me come out to my family, my friends, myself. And I was just like, it's insane. Because again, like, yeah, she's a small character, she's a small part, but, you know, they still were able to pick something from her and to be inspired to be who they are. And I think that's beautiful. And I love that. You know, I'm so happy to know that even a game that's 3 years old can still, you know, bring people out, you know, from their shadows. So it's really cool. I love being a part of the community.
I can imagine so with the portrait in your background. Big fan of that.
Yes, she's like, you know, she's my goddess. She's just here. No, I love it. Like, it's just like, I don't know. It's just the coolest thing I've ever done. Like, to be honest with you, it's literally the coolest thing I've ever done. And yeah. And it's brought me to where I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you. You know what I mean? It's brought me to where I am here. It's brought me you know, I'm a Twitch partner. Like, I wouldn't be a Twitch partner if I wasn't in the game. And so it's just like, I'm really proud of it. So
before we move on as well, what was the reaction like when you received that?
Oh, I was so stoked. That was so cool. So as part of the Life is Strange fan community, they did like a giveaway, I think, for Christmas, like 2 years ago. And they sent me, so they did Katori, Qtori, is the artist of that. And they sent me two to sign, and then I had to send it back to the winner, and then they let me keep one. And I was so excited. Like, I immediately like framed it and put it up on my wall. Like, it's, yeah, it's amazing. I love it.
That's cool. So the main question here is, are you team Steph and Chloe or team Steph and Rachel, and why?
I think team Steph and Rachel, because I don't feel like Chloe and Rachel, I feel like they're friends. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that there was ever anything of a romance to be built there. But I think that going along with BTS, I think that we can tell that, you know, Steph digs Rachel. So, okay. Yeah.
So I'm not going to ask if you're going to come back for the character, because you would.
Yeah, I know. Can you tell us? She's like,
yeah, well, So say if you had the chance to come back and play Steph, where would you want her to be in the future? Would you want her to still be in D&D? Would it want to be a Steph post Blackwell? Like, paint me the future, like where you would see this character if you did come back for it.
Oh, man, that's so cool. That's such a... I think that I've always said that I would really love to learn about, like, where Steph came from. I know that's not, like, the future. That's kind of her past. But I don't know. Like, I've always wondered why she is the way she is. Why is she so strong? Why is she so cool with being completely open, you know, amongst all these characters who may not be open with their sexuality or even just be open with the kind of person they are? So I don't know. I'd be really interested to hear or to see or to be able to explore, like, her family life, like, you know, because we don't know anything about that. So okay. I don't know. I think that'd be cool. But I think she probably has been playing D&D for a while. So she probably played in her younger years. But yeah, I don't know. I just really, that was just always like my thing. Like I've always just, and every time I see other playthroughs of it or people talk about it, I always just wonder, like, what was her early childhood life like, you know? So that'd probably be what I want.
Yeah. So this series has an affinity with powers, you know, spirit animals. So we are going to settle this right now. So Katy Bentz has to give me what she thinks is Steph's spirit animal and what would be her powers as well.
Oh, the powers. Okay. Spirit animal. I would probably say, I don't know. I think an owl might be a good spirit animal for Steph because an owl is just kind of always there, you know what I mean? It's always there. It's always lingering. It's watching, you know? And it's, I don't know. I was thinking about that question yesterday and I was like, what would be a good one? And I think an owl would be a good one. Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah. An owl. The superpower. I think somebody asked me this question a long time ago. And I think I said, like, what did I say? No, somebody asked me this in my chat. And I was like, make everyone gay. But no, that's not. She'd probably want that so she could have a, you know, a good shot of having more opportunities for love. But I'm trying to think of, like, what superpower, just with all the, like, the different ones in Life is Strange. I don't know. I don't know what superpower. I would want her, maybe she could, like, like, mind reading would be cool. I don't know. Well, that's kind of like what, I don't know if you've played Tell Me Why yet.
I haven't yet. I will be playing it this weekend, but I was kind of waiting for all 3 episodes to come out, but we will come on to Tell Me Why.
I'll never say anything. I will not say anything. Anyways, so yeah, I don't know, maybe like mind reading, maybe something like that, so it could help her, like, help others. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I want to know what you like about Steph the most, and if you had the chance, what would you want the developers to focus on more with her, if there's anything?
Definitely her past, for sure. I think definitely her past would be really cool. Like I said, and then my favorite thing about Steph, I think just like her attitude about life. I just think her attitude about everything. Like, I just want to know, why is she so grounded? Why is she so sure of herself? Like, I just want to know where that all came from. Like, that's what I like about her. I like that, like, she is so stable in that. I mean, maybe she's not. I don't know. Maybe she's not stable, you know, but she seems like she's stable. She seems like that stable friend that's going to be there for you when things go wrong. But obviously we all know that, you know, not everyone's stable. So yeah, I think just exploring more of just her, you know, I think that would just be great to learn about her past and learn about her emotions.
Okay, sweet. So when we spoke, only 1 episode had come out as well, so I missed out on an opportunity to talk to you about a lot of things. And when we talked then, you said that the train scene was your favourite, based on just the 1 episode that we saw.
Yeah.
Which other scenes do you like that you'd rank in your favourites as well, outside of the train sequence in episode 1? Are there any of that stand out?
Yeah, so definitely the Tempest. Like, the play is just amazing. Like, it's so cool that and being an actor too and being in plays as well, like, that was just so fun to be able to interact with. I loved that. And it was just so beautiful. It was really beautifully made. The environment was just amazing. I think for sure that's one of my favorites out of the entire one. I'm trying to, like, go back in my mind for everything. Yeah, and of course, like, the end, the fire scene where, you know, she burns the paper and you know, it's just, I like the scenes that just, everything is just beautiful. The acting, you know, the scene. So yeah, I think those two are my fave.
Okay. So, there's a tough ending choice at the end of this game where you tell Rachel the truth about everything or you can protect her. I know that you've played through the game. Where do you stand now, 3 years later? Where would be the definitive standpoint? What would you do and why, choice-wise?
You'd tell her. I would tell her. I would always tell her. I think you should always tell people the truth. I understand not hurting somebody, but, like, they need to know. They need to know. I feel like honesty, if you have information, you need to tell that person, especially if you love them. I mean, I can definitely understand not telling them to save the pain, but, like, it's something she needs to know, Mm-hmm. And then she can work through that and figure out how to handle all of the emotions she'll get. But I don't know. She ungathered a lot of things, about the family and about Rachel, and I think she needed to tell her. So, yeah.
So I know you've played for the first Life is Strange now since everything's come out. Did you finish the game as well?
Yes, I played all of them.
So where do you stand on the final choice on that? Do you save Arcadia Bay or do you save Chloe, and why?
Everyone hates me so much. So I felt like I was forced to save Chloe, so I did. But when I started playing Life is Strange 2, like, I went with my initial choice, which was Arcadia Bay. Like, I get it. I know so many people are like, oh my God, we do not like Katy anymore. She is not for Bay. But no, like, obviously, like, the connection that Max and Chloe have is amazing, but, like, I don't know, it's a whole, like, I get it. Like, a lot of people in the fandom are super romantical. Is that a word? Romantic. There we go. Like, they want that. You know what I mean? They don't care about anybody else. They're like, Max and Chloe, like, done. We don't need the town of Arcadia Bay. But it's like, we could save a whole town and so many people's lives, or just one person's life. I don't know. So I'm always the greater good kind of mindset, just personally. But yeah, I think Max herself would save Chloe every time. But me playing the game as a player, I got to go with the whole town, unfortunately. People are literally watching this and they just hate me. You hate me. Don't lie to me. You're like, oh, Katy, can't believe you wouldn't pick Chloe and Max forever.
Maybe.
See, I told you. Your thoughts have changed on me forever.
Because I spoke to Hannah about this in the first episode. She plays Max, and I just said to her, like, I had no quarrel about, like, picking Chloe, because when that choice came up, I was like, there we go. See you later, Arcadia Bay.
Yeah, but that's the thing, because everybody literally loves Max and Chloe, and they would do anything for Max and Chloe. So, of course, most of the people were like, oh, not a choice. Like, bye town, But I don't know. I sit there and I'm like, what about, like, Joyce? And what about, like, all these other people? And, I don't know. So, yeah. Though I do, I understand. I understand both sides.
It's a divisive thing, so we'll have to move on from it, otherwise we'll be here forever. So I had the pleasure of speaking to Kylie on the show again after a couple of years out again, just like yourself. And she told me a story where she came and visited you and played D&D. Do you remember this?
Yes, I do remember this. It was so fun. Yeah, we were on it was a Twitch channel that we were on, Ace of Ransom, and we were doing D&D with my friend Chrisio the Legend. He was the DM, and our friend Bobby was there, and it was so fun. It was just so awesome, and Kylie had no idea what she was doing, but she was great at it. It was lovely. Yeah, so she just was having fun with it.
Who won that game?
Say that again?
Who won that game?
Who won the game? The campaign?
The D&D.
Wait, you mean who? I think I don't think there was any winners on it. I think it was just, I can't really remember. She was just a guest on it for one time. But I don't remember what happened. Right. I do not remember what happened.
Okay. So, were you interested in D&D before Steph, or was it because of Steph that you tried it out?
Yeah, because of Steph that I tried it out. Yeah, I've heard of D&D before, but it was never like something that I was like, I'm going to go play some D&D, But after being Steph in the game and, playing it, I was like, I should probably try out D&D. I think that would probably be good. So I've been on 3 different campaigns, I think 3 different campaigns now. Yeah, but yeah, they haven't lasted too long, but yeah, it's been fun to try it out.
Sweet. So obviously, you gave me different responses when I asked you what you wanted to do in the future when you were working on Before Storm, and then you made a massive leap by going to streaming. Like, how did that transition come about that you took, that you wanted to do streaming and now would do it as you do?
Yeah. So Ace of Ransom actually, who I did D&D with, he was the one that was like, hey, you should stream, you should do a Let's Play of BTS. And I was like, I don't know what that means. He was like, on Twitch. I was like, I don't know what that means. I was like, I don't know what any of this means. And so he showed me, and he's like, well, why don't you just like come do it on my channel? Like, it'll be fun. And I was like, cool. Like, kind of what I did with Kylie when I had her on my channel. She's like, I don't know what this is. And I was like, it'll be fine, And so, yeah, and that was like the introduction of Twitch to me. And then I realized, like, maybe I should make an account. So I started I made an account, and I started doing streams from my kitchen, and it just slowly started working its way to what it is now. 3 years later, I have my streamiversary on November 7th. So yeah, it's definitely been crazy, but yeah, I literally would not be streaming on Twitch if it wasn't for Life is Strange. So it's insane.
By the way, I'm not going to edit this out, I'm going to leave it in as well. The episode will probably drop around that time as well, which is quite convenient on my part. This episode will drop.
Wait, say that again?
So like around this time, around your anniversary time, this episode
my streamiversary? Oh, sick. Yeah.
Nice timing for that.
Yeah.
So cool. I've noticed in your streaming as well, and you mentioned it before, Tell Me Why, you've been playing that. It has such a big connection with Life is Strange fans as well because of Dontnod. What are your thoughts so far on what you've played?
I think it's so beautiful. I think it's really cool. The story is, you haven't played it, so I don't want to spoil anything for you.
No, go for it.
But yeah, what? I'm not spoiling it for you. What are you talking about? You crazy. You have to have such a good experience. It's such a beautiful game. I mean, it's Life is Strange, esque, right? Like, it's the same company, so it's definitely going to have those feels in there. But it's a very unique story, very unique character dynamics. And it's basically, between kids and their mother, their parent. So it definitely, I feel like, can probably touch people in a lot of ways. And it definitely did for me. So yeah, it's just been a really cool game so far. I have not finished it. I have 40 minutes left on episode 3. So I don't know when I'll be able to finish that, but I'm just like rearing and ready. So yeah, but it's great. It's beautiful. So yeah. And like, it takes place in Alaska, which is so cool because it's just gorgeous there and it makes me want to go there.
So I've got a memory like a goldfish anyway, so don't worry about this because I do want to ask the next question. So what is your favorite scene from Tell Me Why so far and why?
Oh gosh, my favorite scene from Tell Me Why so far. I just probably, wait, I don't want to spoil things for you though.
Honestly, it will literally come in here and then it'll disappear. And it's like,
this won't though. What I'm about to say won't. Oh my gosh. I'm just going to say it with trying not to spoil. Well, there's 2 characters. They have a little romantic moment and on the lake, and they do a little kiss, and it was so awesome. I loved it. It was great. Yeah. It was just like such a pretty scene. That's all I'm going to say because I don't want to spoil anything for you. I'm sure the people who've already played it know what I'm talking about. So yeah.
The thing is,
I caught a fish too, so that was cool.
I'll play it by the time this episode comes out. It's just like I was waiting for them all to come out at once because I can sit down, play them through.
Yeah, you're one of those. I get it. Yeah. You don't want to wait. Yeah.
So, sticking with the streaming as well, you've been to TwitchCon. You've got a community now. You've got people watching your streams.
Yeah.
Talk to me about the experience of like taking, kind of the love that people gave from Life is Strange over online, and then finally meeting these people and having that next level of human interaction.
Yeah, it's so cool being the first TwitchCon I went to. That happened a lot more because the second one I was at, I had a bum leg, so I just didn't really do much. But yeah, it was just really cool to be able to meet the community from Twitch, my Twitch community, and Life is Strange fans. It's kind of surreal. I don't know, I've never thought I would be in a position, where I would have community members that want to meet me, at conventions and events and stuff. So it's definitely surreal, but everybody is so sweet and kind. And I don't know, they do so much in the community, whether, it's being a chatter every single day, whether it's lurking, whether it's, just hanging out, hosting the stream or supporting the stream financially. There's so many people in there that contribute, and everything matters to me, it's amazing. I once had a person come up to me at TwitchCon, and they came up and they're like, "Oh, are you Katy Bentz?" And I was like, this is like one of the first times anyone's done that. And I was like, yeah, like this is so weird, but like super cool. And I asked if they could turn their name tag around because I didn't, you don't know faces, right? And they did, and I did not recognize the name at all. And I felt really bad. I was like, oh no, like I don't recognize this name. And I kind of like stuttered a little bit, and they could tell. And they're like, oh no, don't worry. I've never talked in your chat before. I just lurk. And at that time, I'd been streaming for like a year and a half or something. And I was like, that's so crazy. Like this person seems like they know me. They're just a lurker. They just enjoy to have the stream on, and that's how they want to watch the channel. And I think that that's amazing. So it's definitely cool to see that I can help people through just jumping on my camera and talking and streaming. So it's been really fun.
That's sweet. And so this is a big part of your life now, streaming and what you're doing. Yeah. But obviously since then I've flicked through IMDb and I've seen that you've worked in shorts, TV, other little projects here and there, but nothing gaming related from what I could tell.
I know.
Have you been applying for gaming projects, or has anything?
Yeah, I mean, I auditioned for something, I think before COVID. I auditioned for something before COVID, but didn't hear anything back. I just found something on Twitter like 2 days ago or something and auditioned for that. But it's hard, I think, especially with COVID happening right now. It's just, I haven't been auditioning for anything and haven't been really looking. I've just been focusing on streaming. But yeah, no, it's hard, It's like, I always tell people like I have the door open, but it's just with my big toe and I'm trying to like push it, It's difficult, there's a lot of people in this industry, a lot of voiceover actors, all that. So, and there's a lot of talented people out there, a lot of talented people. So, I'm going to keep auditioning and keep looking for stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I've just been doing Twitch and it's been good so far. So yeah.
Okay. So before we go on to the final question anyway, I just thought of something. So have you been following Life is Strange since before Storm? So like Life is Strange 2, Captain Spirit, has there been any interest for you to keep with the series?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I've played all of them.
Okay.
Yeah. I've played all of them. Yeah, I love the series.
Any favorite moments from the second game, if you remember?
Oh gosh. The time when you played it, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I just gotta make sure. When they burned the damn church down, I was like, yes! I hated everything. That was the worst. I'm sorry. That was the worst character in all of the games. Like that person, I can't remember her name, Lala, or what was her? I don't even remember the name. The woman.
Her name is the Pasture.
I don't know. She doesn't need a name. She was horrible. But yeah, I literally hated that. So the moment the church burnt down, I was just so stoked. I was like, thank God, literally. Well, I don't know. Thank God burning a church. Maybe I shouldn't say that. But but yeah, she was horrible. So that felt really good to do that. But I don't know. There's just so many moments. I loved the story between Sean and Daniel. I loved it. I really loved it so much. Also, I don't know I can't remember what happened to me, but like Daniel blew up like a ton of people, and like, yeah, it was sad. Like at the border, it was like super sad, but also it was a really cool scene. So just like it was just like really animated. It was like some action film. So it was done really well. So yeah. And then Captain Spirit's just beautiful because it's out in the snow and it's just bright and yeah. So yeah, but I love the entire series. I think it's awesome. So
I thought I'd get that in just before we finish anyway, but
yeah.
So we now move on to the big question. This is my personal favorite as well. So there are currently plans for a Life is Strange TV series. I know you'd love to play Steph, but you're not allowed to in this and not on my show. So you're the casting director. Who would you want to play Steph and why?
Oh gosh, I didn't think about this one. Who would I want to play Steph? Gosh, I did not think about this question. I know, I was like, send me the question so I can prepare. And then this one, I just didn't. I like read it and I was like, oh, I don't know what I was doing. Who would I want to play Steph? I'm trying to think of like all the people that would work well. There is, who is the character? Did you ever see Under the Dome? Who is that character? Hold on, I'm going to figure it out. She's in a new show too coming out and I don't know what it is. Under the Dome. We're going on the fly here.
Yeah, I'm not editing this out either. This is like full on for everyone watching.
You're not editing any of this out? Wow, awesome. It's wonderful. I love it, guys. Well, this is perfect because it's just like my Twitch stream. It's just kind of like chaotic. Okay. What the heck is her name? Rachel? Is this who it is? No, what is her name? She just came out with something else. Like she's in something else called like something in Paris or something. Oh my goodness. Wait, is it this one? No, I have no idea who she is, but she's in Under the Dome. She's in Under the Dome. She just came out. She's coming out with a new Netflix series or something called something Paris or something. But she was in Under the Dome. This is going to bother me. And then I'm going to have to like send you an email and it's not going to matter because nobody watching this will even realize it. Wait, wait, is it? Okay, this isn't who I was thinking about, but this is the person that's in the Paris thing. Lily Collins would be good. I feel like Lily Collins could play Steph. But there was somebody else too, and I don't know who it is. But Lily Collins could also play Steph. So that could work.
Right.
But I don't know who the heck I'm thinking about. And it's going to bother me just forever. Is it this girl? No. I don't know who it is. We'll never know. But we'll go with Lily Collins. For now.
You make for a good casting director, because if you're that bothered by it, you're committed to it.
No, I am super bothered by it. I don't know what the frick her name is. She's like, I think she died in Under the Dome. So Under the Dome's such a great one. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know who she is. No, I'd be a horrible casting director because I don't remember anyone's names. That'd be good. That would be, don't hire me as a casting director. Okay. We'll go with Lily Collins. She'd be
Lily
good.
Collins. Right. So as custom part of my show now, I let my guests have the final word of like a message to the Life is Strange community. This was a big role in your life. I'll let you take it away.
Yes. First of all, thank you for having me back on in this really awesome series. I think that's so cool. I've been following it, so it's great to be on it. To the Life is Strange fandom, thank you guys so much for believing in such an amazing series and for being so welcoming and kind and open arms to me when I came in, not knowing anything about the series, not knowing anything about like the gaming world. And, you all basically gave me a boost when I started streaming on Twitch. My community was the Life is Strange community, and it's since, grown into a bigger community of different people, but it was always and still will always be started from the Life is Strange community, so I'll never forget that. And I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys, so thank you so much. Yeah.
There we go. So thanks, guys, everyone watching. Please like, subscribe, comment. It really does help with the channel. Katie, thank you so much for coming back on my show.
Yes, thank you.
It's just great catching up with people I've spoken to like years ago, and they're like,
I know.
My life is strange now, and I'm like, that's for another time, that story. So, guys, stay tuned. There'll be more episodes to come. We've got plenty more guests. Thank you, Katie, and we'll see you guys later.
Okay, bye.